Hello, my fifth grade friends. So this is attempt number 4 to get this lesson recorded. My microphone stopped working earlier, and so I had to re-record, and then I had to restart my computer, and I decided to change the article we were going to do because it was so long and there were so many hard words. I'd rather do it in person on Thursday. So we were originally going to be talking about what an inauguration is, and we were going to look at an inauguration speech from a former president, but didn't work out. We'll do it in person on Thursday. Today, we're going to read an article about Maya Angelou, and this kind of ties in with the writing project that I told you we were going to be working on, the one about famous Black Americans who helped shape America. So Maya Angelou, we're going to read information about her. You do not have to do your full project on her. This is just to get us sort of in the mindset of thinking about famous Black people in American history. So the first thing I'm going to do before I even read the article is I'm going to play you a video of her reciting part of one of her most famous poems. And that poem is called Still I Rise. It's a very, very long poem. So this is only just some parts of it that are really important parts of the poem.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave and soul. There I go.
So in the poem, Maya Angelou says that she is the hope and the dream of the slave. And still, there she goes. So it's all about rising up above these horrible circumstances that her ancestors faced, and how even after generations of enslavement and oppression at the hands of the U.S. government and people looking down on Black people in America, it didn't matter. She still rose above it and became this really accomplished writer and author. So we're going to read a little bit more about Maya Angelou. Okay. Maya Angelou was born on April 4th, 1928, in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood in which she faced discrimination in a divided family. So discrimination is when she, as a young Black girl, faced oppression and people wouldn't let her do the same things as white people just because of the color of her skin. When she was very young, her parents got divorced. Angelou and her brother Bailey were sent to live with their grandmother in Arkansas. Her loving grandmother taught her the value of hard work and education. As a young girl, Angelou suffered some terrible experiences. The challenges of her early life led Maya to become mute. She did not speak for almost 5 years. Through education, Angelou started to discover the power of her voice. After high school, she worked many different jobs. Eventually, she became a singer, dancer, actor, and activist. That means an activist is somebody who works to further a cause. So there's civil rights activists who work to fight for equality for all people. There are environmental activists who work to combat climate change. She was a big part of the civil rights movement. Later, her career as writer took off. She wrote more than 30 best-selling books. In 1969, she published her first autobiography. Autobiography is a book we write about ourselves. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It was her biggest literary success, so it was like her best-selling book. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is still taught in many schools and colleges. In January 1993, Angelou received a great honor. She was asked by President-elect Bill Clinton to recite a poem at his inauguration. So an inauguration is when a new president is sworn in as the leader of the country. So when he had his inauguration ceremony, when he took over as president, she recited a poem at that ceremony. She was only the second poet in U.S. history to have that honor. Later, Angelou was awarded the 2010 Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama. Maya Angelou died in 2014. She is celebrated for her contributions to literature, the arts, and the fight for equality and civil rights. So we've read about Dr. Maya Angelou. She had a doctorate, so that we call her Dr. Angelou. Now, you are going to answer some questions. So this is posted on the Google Classroom. Famous African Americans, Maya Angelou. After you watch this video, you're going to answer the questions. So you're going to put your name. The first question says, what is Maya Angelou famous for? And I do want a TTQA. We're going to turn this question around. Maya Angelou is famous for what? It's more than one thing, so don't just put one word. I want details. What did she do? Did she invent the refrigerator? Did she discover a new element? What did she do? The next question, why was it a big deal that Maya Angelou spoke at President Clinton's inauguration? So why was it such a big deal that Maya Angelou spoke when President Clinton took over as president? And you can go back to the video, or you can go back to the passage and see if you can find where it talks about President Clinton, if you don't remember. And the last question is, what award did Maya Angelou, I better fix that typo. What award did Maya Angelou receive from President Obama? So she received a pretty big award in 2010. I want you to give me a full sentence. For all of these, I need TTQA. Maya Angelou received what?